All right, let's just jump right into a big one. It's one of those classic what ifs that everyone has thought about at some point. It's the superpower that pops up in movies and books all the time. But what would it actually be like if you could stop time?
I mean, come on, who hasn't daydreamed about this? Having the power to just hit a pause button on the entire universe. You'd have all the time in the world to think, to get things done, to catch your breath. It really does feel like it would solve all of our problems.
Just think about it. You'd never be late for anything, ever again. You could ace every single test because you'd have infinite time to figure out the answers. All those chores you've been putting off, done. And maybe, just maybe, you could finally get a full night's sleep. The possibilities seem absolutely incredible. Okay, but here's the twist you didn't see coming. When you stop dreaming and start looking at this through the cold, hard lens of science, that amazing fantasy completely falls apart. The ultimate superpower turns out to be the ultimate prison. So, how is that possible?
Well, it all starts with the basic rules of the universe. See, to stop time, you wouldn't just be bending a rule. You'd have to take a sledgehammer to the very foundation of physics and reality itself.
Here's where we have to rewire our brains a little. Thanks to Einstein, we know that time isn't just some invisible clock ticking away. It's actually woven together with the three dimensions of space, creating this four-dimensional fabric called space-time. They're totally linked. You can't just pause one without pausing the other. And to make things even weirder, there's no single universal clock. Time is relative. It can literally stretch and shrink depending on how fast you're moving and how strong the gravity is around you. This whole idea is called time dilation. So, picture this. You're standing on Earth, and you watch a spaceship fly by at almost the speed of light. For the person inside that ship, time is passing incredibly slowly. For you, it's ticking along like normal. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. It's wild. And this isn't just some theory, it's a real thing. Astronauts on the International Space Station are whizzing around the Earth so fast that they actually age a tiny bit slower than us down here. We're talking about 1/100th of a second a year. It's not much, but it proves that time is literally passing at a different speed for them. Okay, but you know what? This is a thought experiment. So let's do what we came here to do and just ignore all those pesky laws of physics. Let's say you've got the magic button. You push it. Time freezes. What happens in that first instant? The very first thing you'd experience is nothing. Absolute pitch black darkness. Why? Well, for you to see anything, light particles or photons have to travel from an object to your eyes. If time is stopped, those photons are frozen in place. They can't move, so no light ever reaches you. And right along with the darkness, you'd get absolute silence. I mean, complete, total quiet. Sound is just vibrations traveling through the air to your eardrums. If time is stopped, the air molecules can't vibrate. They're locked in place. No vibrations, no sound. So you see the domino effect here, right? You stop time, which freezes every particle in the universe. The photon stops, so you're blind. The air molecule stops, so you're deaf. Instantly, you're plunged into this void of total sensory deprivation. Just you, alone in the dark and the quiet. All right, let's up the ante. What if the rules apply to everything except you? The universe is frozen, but you're still a conscious observer, totally free to move around. Now that's the superpower we're really after, isn't it? So, you're standing there in your frozen world. You're aware you can move, and the first thing you do, just by pure instinct, is try to take a breath. And you can't. The air all around you, all that nitrogen and oxygen, it's not a gas anymore. Every single molecule is frozen solid in midair. It's basically an invisible, immovable wall. You couldn't breathe it in, you couldn't even move through it. And this is where the whole fantasy just completely collapses into a nightmare. It's not just the air. Everything in the universe would be infinitely rigid. You couldn't take a step because the atoms in the ground wouldn't move to let your foot down. If you managed to touch something, it'd be like running full speed into a brick wall. And the worst part? Even your own body's cells would be part of the frozen world, instantly stopping every single biological process that keeps you alive. So, okay, we figured out it's physically impossible in the most terrifying ways. But the problem is actually even bigger than that. This isn't just about getting the physics wrong. It's about misunderstanding what it even means to exist.
Think about any perfect moment you'd want to freeze in time. A beautiful sunset or a laugh with someone you love. The magic of that moment is that it's happening, it's flowing. The second you freeze it, you don't preserve it. You actually destroy the very life that made it special.
And what are you anyway? At your core, you are a collection of memories and experiences and thoughts, all strung together in a story. Your life is a narrative, and that story can only be written on the pages of moving time. If you stop time, the story stops. The you that you know disappears. It really boils down to this. Everything we value in life, change, growth, becoming a better person, all of that needs time to flow. When you halt time, you're just left with the opposites. Not change, but stasis. Not growth, but stillness. And ultimately, not existence, but nothingness.
And here is the final mind-bending truth. The act of thinking itself takes time. It's a process of neurons firing one after the other. Cause has to come before effect. Consciousness is just our brain processing that sequence of moments. Without time, none of that can happen. You literally couldn't even form the bot, "I've stopped time."
So that brings us full circle. We started out dreaming of stopping time, thinking of it as a prison we needed to escape. But it turns out the escape is the real trap. The constant, unstoppable flow of time, the very thing that causes aging and loss, is also the very thing that makes life, thought, and all of existence possible. So what do you think? Is the flow of time a curse, or is it the greatest gift we have?